Hey guys, welcome back to the Pineapple Podcast. And this week, Jeremy's failing at life already.
Pretty much.
It's early in the morning.
And I already have strawberry bread in my water.
And we have other Zach again.
Other Zach.
Yep. A third time.
Third time's the charm.
Time's the charm.
I mean, I'm not going to say the other times weren't good, but hopefully this time's even better.
You were here beginning of October was last time?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he doesn't know this, but he actually wasn't our original guest. He was our backup plan.
I'm always the backup.
He's
guest.
always the back-
Always the backup plan.
He's always number 2. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, we were actually gonna have Steve-O on, but he has the workshop.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's very
next
important.
week will be someone else, but we got a seasoned podcast veteran in today. Returning veteran.
Veterans.
Like, you basically fought in the war.
Yep.
The Great
I was
War
here in
when
the
we
early
started the
days of the
podcast.
podcast.
Early days. He fought through all the cringe we had.
And survived to see the remaining cringe.
I think we're a little bit better now.
Hey, just
More or
remember
less.
to talk loud into the mic. So,
We'll
that's
be
all I have
getting
to
a
say.
second one soon, hopefully.
That is true.
So you won't have to listen to, like, half of us be really quiet and then half of us be super loud.
Exactly. So, what are we doing today?
We got some questions for Zach.
We added these in.
We added just, like, general guest questions just because we thought they'd be good. Because you probably know everything about us, but not everybody else, or the other guest. Why say everybody else?
Hold on, guys. Zach has to dispose of his gum.
Wait, into what, though?
Into what?
To my handy dandy fanny pack here.
Into a fanny pack?
It's like a fanny pack. I just put it over my shoulder, you know. It's just very convenient.
He's
for-
basically Nathan Drake.
For storing all kinds of materials and etc.
What do you have in your fanny pack?
I have today's theme is yellow, so I have juicy fruit.
Today's
and-
theme? Do you
Yeah,
have, like,
it's
a
yellow
clear
and have
theme?
my
Oh,
Yellow
yellow
sunglasses?
I almost fell out of this chair again.
And I have a receipt for Slim Chickens.
Hey, from last Saturday?
Yeah, from last Saturday when I put it in there.
Dude, your brother used to carry on a fanny pack, but his was pink, wasn't it?
I bought him a pink one.
Yeah.
Because it'd be fun. No, he used, like, a leather one, didn't he, for a little while? He just, like,
I remember
carried it
he
around.
used one a few years ago, but
Okay.
that's
Zach,
neither here nor there.
he can pull off the fanny pack, I will admit.
Did you get the Nathan
doesn't
Drake
look-
reference?
Weird.
Nathan Drake. Is that from Uncharted?
Uncharted. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Cool. Very cool.
So, what is your, to quote Zach's writing or typing, occupation?
My occupation?
/ what do you do all day?
Yeah,
I do all day.
that's basically the question. What do you do all
Okay,
day?
so right now I'm a student at Tech, so that's basically what takes up most of my time during
And
the
your
week.
soul.
And my soul. Okay, I don't know if I should have said that. Okay, so rewind. Okay, so yeah, I'm a student at Tech. I'm a psychology student. I mean, it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty versatile major, but you know, it's got its ups and downs.
So what do you eventually, like, want to do with your major?
You see, there's a lot of things I could take it to take that major with. I've been pretty interested in forensics, so that would be dealing with like lawful issues. So I'd be working with prisoners. Sometimes I might be working with like custodies and
So
things
would
like
you
that.
decide, like, hey, you're insane, you're not insane?
Yes, you get to do that. So that's and you get paid a lot to do that. But there's a reason why, because it's a pretty big deal when you do have to declare that, and it's often a really long process. So
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so the whole time you've been talking about this, I have this show in my head of you being a forensic person doing your forensic stuff with the fanny pack, and your show could be called Zach with the Pack, a fanny adventure.
What?
Zach with the
Fanny
pack,
adventure?
with the
Fanny adventure?
Zach with the pack. Wait, Zach and the pack, a fanny adventure.
That sounds weird.
I feel like that'd be like a Netflix movie,
A Netflix original.
a Netflix original.
Have you seen the show Fringe?
Fringe?
Yeah, have you seen it?
I don't think so. Is
I
it on-
haven't.
Okay, I was gonna say you could be like one of the characters. in it.
Well,
Never mind.
anywho,
So what else?
don't you do something
What else
at
outside?
nights?
So outside of that,
makes you-
most other days or most days, I'll be working at UPS. So basically, what I do there is I work the night shifts there, and I deal with the. Recently, I've been having to deal with the air packages, especially since it's been pretty heavy here in December and January. And exactly what we do is just we take care of all the next day air, so all the high value stuff that goes out on the planes.
So you're like really good at organizing boxes?
Well, essentially that, but we actually go and drive out to the airport too, and then we have to. It's a pretty hefty process. You have to like, there's a certain way you have to like operate equipment while you're on the airfield, so it can be pretty dangerous sometimes.
Wow.
You know. So.
There you go. So, but UPS doesn't have any downs, right? It's just all ups.
It does have its downs. I mean,
Get it? Because UPS spelled ups.
that was pretty clever right there. I didn't.
I literally just
flew over
thought
my
of
head.
that.
Okay.
Was that like a pun, like unintended at first, but then it was intended?
No, I was looking for a UPS pun, and that's the first thing I thought of.
No.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we does have a lot of ups, but you know, just like any other job, it has its downs.
Dude, I need to pitch that to them for a T-shirt idea. UPS, we have a lot of ups.
What?
Yeah. Your supervisor will be getting an email from me.
More merch.
More merch.
It will be sold through our
FedEx.
Shipped through FedEx.
Shipped through FedEx. UPS merch shipped by FedEx, delivered by the post office.
And
So.
received by you.
Dude, there you go. Okay, speaking of post office, so I was in I feel like this is a podcast worthy story.
Okay.
I was in the post office Wednesday afternoon, the one that closes at like 5 or 6, but apparently their passport part closes at 3.
Oh.
But I didn't know that. I just happened to get there. So I get there and it's a very long line. Like I'm in line for 45 minutes and there's people behind me. And then the lady comes up. She's like, due to time, you know, she can only take, at this point it was 3 more people and I was the 3rd one. And so everyone behind me had to go home. And they were real frustrated and mad.
How many people were behind you?
Like groups or families, there was probably like 4 or 5. But people, it was like over 10 people trying to get
Oh.
their passport, which would have been like an hour.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe a little, because they said about 15 minutes per person or a little longer per group.
Yeah.
And like the one in front of me was a family of 4.
Yeah.
And then there was just like a single person in front of me. And so anyways, I'm waiting in line forever. So like after that, everyone, and so like they said after me, they're not seeing anyone else. So after that, people kept coming in. And I would have to say, hey, sorry, I don't want you to waste your time like standing in line. They said that I was the last person they were going to see today. And like, if they weren't in a highly video secured area, I probably would have died.
Are you serious?
Dude, they gave me like the dirtiest looks, like, I'm going to kill you and take your spot in line. And I was really like, don't kill me.
Oh.
But anyways, the reason I actually brought up this story was because there was like no line if you were just mailing stuff.
Yeah.
You literally walk straight up. And this one lady had like first class, like 1 day shipping on this giant box. And the lady's like asking like kind of what's in it because it's like this real priority. And it was a box, huge box full of Girl Scout cookies.
What?
And she was like, and the lady was a little older. She's like, and I don't, because like you would see that whenever they get the thing, they just like toss it in the back.
Yeah.
And whether it has first class or not, she's like, you better not throw this around. And she like just watches the lady as she like, and the girl's just watching her as she like just puts it down real nicely, so that some lucky person can get their undamaged
Girl Scout cookies.
Girl Scout cookies. And yeah, but moral of the story: get your passport in advance so you don't have to expedite it, because then it costs a lot more money.
Expedite.
Expedite it.
You said expedite it.
Excited.
Expedite.
Yeah.
My
So-
dad had to do that.
Yeah. It was $220. by the
For a
time
piece
you
of paper
do,
that says you're allowed to
but
go somewhere?
yeah, because I had to get my passport book, the photo, which is $15, and then to get in 2 to 3 weeks, it's $60. So
Dang.
I did that to be safe because 6 weeks I would be gone,
Yeah.
and that was at the end, and I didn't want to risk having to like stress about it or anything. So that's my post office story. That was way too long.
I can't believe you have to pay that much money just to get a piece of paper that says you're allowed to leave your home country.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It's just business.
Just business as usual.
Business as usual.
And pay $15 for them to take your picture.
Yeah. Dude.
That's insane.
What if you were like a professional photographer and you had to sit there and have someone take a one-click crappy picture for $15?
That would suck. You could be like, I could do a way better job than this, and it costs nothing.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
yeah, so I guess that will be moving into Bible. Oh, hey, we should probably read.
We have other guest questions. You want to go through them?
Oh, yeah, we do.
We have favorite food and hobby. So, other Zach, whichever one you want to answer first.
Favorite food and hobby, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think there's one thing I should mention. You know, when I was a kid, I never believed that you could get tired of a single food. But I mean, as I've grown older and I've turned into like an elder man, I've learned that you just can't eat the same way you used to when you were 10 years old. So
Are you sure about that?
I mean, sometimes you can.
I can still eat a cheeseburger every day.
I feel like I could, but maybe not at McDonald's. You know, just
well,
like
okay.
you know, like
I
some of
get
that
what you're
you
saying
see.
now. I get it now.
But you know, for me, I'd have to say pizza. That's always been like since like that's like a childhood thing for me.
Yeah.
I always liked pizza. I'd say it's one of my favorite foods, and honestly, like if I like at a different pizza joint like 5 days straight, you know, I wouldn't really get too tired of it. So I feel like that.
Okay, it
in
has to be
itself.
brought up. How do you feel about Pi 5 closing down?
I never had the chance to go to Pi 5, so I
What?
wouldn't
Oh my
I
gosh.
wouldn't have any feelings about it at all.
You never went to Pi 5?
And all I
Dude.
knew was that it was next to Chipotle, and I was like, well, that looks pretty good. And then like they opened up like a Urban Brick Pizza down the street from here, and
Haven't been
like
there.
I heard it's pretty similar. So
Huh.
Oh, the Urban
Pi
Brick.
5 was like the most. It was
from what I've
basically
heard.
Subway, but for pizza.
yeah, so like you make your own pizza,
Yeah.
right? And like they build it like right there, and then they like
You can put
speed.
and it's like it was a one price thing, so you could put. It was like on Mondays, or some day. I think it was Monday. Then for like $5.55, you just get like a pizza and you can put anything on it.
Huh.
I would always like get the spicy marinara and mix it with regular marinara, so it wasn't too spicy, but a little spice. And then I'd like just throw literally everything on it.
Literally throw everything on it.
Like I would throw probably like 7 or 8 vegetables on it, like different ones.
And that's like unlimited, it's still the same
Yeah.
price. Dude, that's a really good deal.
Yeah.
A personal pizza.
Yeah.
Personal pizza. with
This
unlimited
might be
toppings.
controversial, but my favorite place to get a personal pizza is from the mini Pizza Huts in the Targets.
Mm.
Isn't that the same at like a Tech basketball game or something?
No, they're way better.
Oh, yeah, did they have their own cafe?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I haven't been in there since like 2015 or something.
I think it might be just like nostalgia because
I
I,
think
would
it
always
is
get them there
nostalgia
before
'cause-
Target became retarded.
Because every time I've gone to a Target and I've gone to the Pizza Hut there, the first thing that, like, the only thing that I ever really get is the personal pizza there.
Is it good? Do you think it's
That's
good?
that's the only place I've ever tried a personal pizza. I've never like gone to like the actual Pizza Hut restaurant and gotten like a tiny personal pizza there. But like when I was like a kid, when we would go to Target and I was hungry, you know, my parents would get me like a personal pizza there.
Yeah.
So maybe it is nostalgia, but it was. I remember it being really good. It was always like the thick crust ones, right? Like
Yeah,
those-
yeah.
yeah.
Those were really good. I don't know
Dude,
why. They're just really
If you
good.
want a personal pizza, you got to go to BJ's or what's that other place? Teddy Jack's.
Teddy Jack's personal pizza? Huh.
On Tuesdays, it's like $5 or $4. I don't remember.
See, but how hard is it to remember that? You have to like put it on your calendar. Go to BJ's or Teddy Jack's or whatever at this
What?
time to get a
Oh,
personal pizza.
speaking of which, I found a new pizza place. It's pizza, wings, and ice cream. It looks amazing.
Pizza, wings, and ice cream?
Yeah. I'll tell you about it later because I saw it yesterday and really want to go.
Okay, we can
So-
talk about it in the food section.
Zach's favorite food is pizza.
Yes.
Is that correct? There you go.
Do you have any hobbies?
Hobbies, I'd have to say, for one, probably since I was a wee little lad, I'd say gaming's always been pretty big on that list. And like as I started hitting like adolescence in high school, I started getting really into fashion for some reason. Like I got into I went to like a fashion design, like there was a class in my high school, and I was like, you know what, this looks pretty neat, you know?
I didn't have that in my high school.
Yeah. And so I was like the only guy there that was walking the straight and narrow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking you were about to say.
I was like, what?
But no, I had a really good time in that class, and like, you know, I learned how to like dye clothes and like do stuff like that, and I was like, you know what, that looks really cool. It's really fun, like making stuff. So I started like crafting like necklaces and stuff like that, and like started paying more attention to how I dress. So, you know, that's kind of like more of a, I don't know, I like just how like it's kind of like art in a way, because like you kind of put stuff together and like you like see like what complements what, and you know, it's just something I'm into now. So
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
cool.
That is beyond me. I can't.
You make it sound cool.
Yeah. I can't match to save my life most days.
Yep.
I
mean,
can't
it's-
light a match to save my life.
Can't light a match to
No,
save your
I'm
life.
just
That doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess
Yeah.
something
Makes
that
sense.
most people,
Most guys would probably not be.
yeah,
into this,
most
so-
guys probably won't think that's really cool,
Yeah.
but I can appreciate it as like a definitely like an art form.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I am with crafting my pizza at Pi 5. It was an art.
It was an art
It was
craft.
an
I feel
art.
like that is an art.
It
Just like
was,
your,
man.
like if you want to make a pizza, it should feel like an art.
It was, but
Pizza with pineapples or no
wait,
pineapples?
we've already talked about this. Throw on so much pineapple that my tongue falls off.
You're retarded. Okay,
You
what are
can
we
quote
going
me
to
on
now?
that.
World breaking news?
I feel
Do we
like
have any?
I feel like that my post office stories fit in there.
Oh.
The Girl Scout cookies. That was pretty
Yeah.
much breaking news.
That's our breaking news.
That's our breaking news. Is that Girl Scout cookies are getting the treatment they deserve.
Yes.
Yum.
Those Thin Mints, those are the best.
Nah, caramel delights are the best.
We can have this discussion another time, okay?
No, literally right now.
Oh.
Caramel delights are literally like the best cookie besides the most stuffed Oreos.
No.
Like
Thin Mints are the
Thin
greatest
Mints.
cookie of all time.
What? The Thin Mints
They're
taste
iconic.
fake.
Thin Mints are iconic.
Thin Mints are the best.
It like
Exactly.
sticks to the top of your mouth like wax chocolate.
But you gotta drink them with milk.
You can do that with a caramel delight.
Did I say drink them with milk? Eat them with milk.
Yes,
them
you
with
did. I don't know.
Like if I had to make like a blizzard, I would put Thin Mints in that, and that
Dude,
would be really good.
yes. That'd be so good.
Like a chocolate peppermint blizzard.
Yeah.
I feel like let's
Like
call it a
very
chocolate
minty,
peppermint
like a
blizzard.
minty, like
Hey.
mint ice cream with like little Thin Mint chocolate in there.
That'd be so good.
Thin mint soda. Remember we talked about inventing the sodas? I picked a mint soda.
A mint soda? Would it be chocolatey flavored too?
fresh.
Hey, apparently it can be.
That'd be pretty cool.
Pretty
Yeah.
neat.
Thin Mint? So,
So, that's our breaking news because
Thin Mints are the best cookie.
nope.
Yes.
All Girl Scout cookies are good.
That's actually not true.
I agree with that. They're not.
I had like
it's-
those peanut butter ones. Have
I
you
don't
had
like
those?
those as
those
much.
are really.
They taste like trash.
Yeah, they're like really bland, and
But my dad loves them, so he's like, "Here, have one." And I was expecting like a Nutter Butter taste because Nutter
Yeah.
Butters are amazing,
Nutter Butters are pretty good.
and it was like a fifth as good as that.
I
very
agree.
fried.
I don't like the peanut butter ones very much.
It wasn't. I didn't like it. The shortbread's alright because shortbread in general is alright.
Whenever I was younger, I had some other friends, and their parents wouldn't buy them the Girl Scout cookies, so I would like smuggle them like the sleeves. Whenever we would go to Grace, I'd be like, "Here are your cookies, bro."
Wait, who?
Luke.
The. Wait, I lost the last name.
Middleton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Rip.
Because they're that good. They
They're
have to
that
be like
good.
smuggled in,
That's funny.
just like our memes now since Article 13.
Insert double whip action.
Oh,
So, now what are we gonna do?
Bible stuff.
Seems legit.
You
anything.
put this one on here.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't
So-
mean I thought about it.
Oh. So this week we're talking about Fellowship.
Of the Rings.
No. We can review that movie later. It's
Wait.
really long.
That movie is so long.
That's like the Avatar movie.
I feel like it's longer.
It's like Infinity War before Infinity War.
Pretty
No,
much.
The Avatar movie was like 3.5 hours.
That's why it takes them like 14 years to make one.
Which one are you talking about?
Well, they've been working on Avatar 2 for like 3 decades.
Avatar, like, are you talking about like the one based off the cartoon Avatar?
I was talking
Or are you
about
talking
the
like, blue
Airbender,
people?
the
No,
blue
I was talking about
people.
the blue people one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with what's her face
I don't know.
and what's his face.
I don't know.
That one. It takes them like so many years to make those movies,
Because they're basically all CGI.
and because they're long.
Are they making another one?
They've been making another one since the last one.
Are you serious?
Yes, it takes them years.
What? It's been like a decade.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's insane.
I love how you like just now get the point,
Yeah.
and the world can hear your live reaction.
Yep. Okay, back to our current topic.
So I had
Fellowship.
something I want to say about this.
Okay. Say.
Those
what you
who
wanna
accept his
say.
message were baptized, and about 3,000 were added to their number that day. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe, and many wonders and miraculous signs were done by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common. Selling their possessions and goods, they gave to anyone as he had need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their houses and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. So Zach, was that this last Sunday or the Sunday before we talked about this a little bit with Brandon?
I think it was Sunday before.
So he kind of went over this passage with us, because this is, I guess, considered the fellowship passage of the Bible. But basically, it just kind of, we hear like the word fellowship, but we don't. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I only hear that when it's like pertaining to church. Like, have you ever heard people at Tech be like, "Hey, want to get over late? Come over later for some fellowship."
No.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that voice, but apparently I've been exposed.
Oh.
So Zach, whenever you hear like, oh wait, either Zach, it's up for grabs. Whenever you hear the word fellowship, then what kind of is the first thing you think of?
Hanging out with your friends at church. That's like the thing. It's
The thing.
I don't know how to describe it. It's the stereotype, I guess,
Yeah.
of what fellowship is. That's like the first thing I think of.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know, I think that's kind of like when we hear fellowship, you know, it's not it's not a term that when we think about like our friends outside of church, we're like, oh, we're going to hang out. Oh, we're going to, spend time together. But, you never say we're going to have fellowship. Oftentimes I think like fellowship also like involves God in it too. So that's why it's such a like separate thing from say like just like hanging out or spending time with your pals.
Why it's not like interchangeable with like hang out.
I think it could be. I think that's just the way that we've, just like in our society, the way that we put that word to use. But I think it could be like, it doesn't necessarily have to be that definition.
Mm-hmm. It says that they had fellowship, they're breaking the bread, and had prayer. So whenever they say the word fellowship, it's lumped together with prayer and breaking the bread. And then a few verses later, again, it says that, where'd it go? I lost it. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts and had fellowship with each other, and the Lord added on to them. So in this passage, both time it's revolved around eating and praying, basically.
So yeah.
So Do you think that from this little chunk here, because this is like the early church, you know, people always like, we just need to go back and do church like the early church did. You know, you hear people say that a lot. So do you think today that we have fellowship with our brothers and sisters, kind of like in this passage? Or what does it look like today?
I feel like
Don't say monster.
what?
You feel like a monster.
No.
Sorry, I couldn't. Skillet reference.
I feel like we still do that. We just don't call it fellowship. It's just like, hey, we're just gonna go hang out and go get food. But we never think of it as like fellowship, and it's almost as if I don't know. I think it kind of has some stuff to do with like giving thanks and like always being joyful. Also, like at the same time, like just remembering that everything that we have comes from the Lord, and remembering it while we're like eating and having fun with each other. So I feel like that's more of what fellowship is. It's not just hanging out with each other.
Yeah. So like it involves God too. It's like a God-centered time with like the people.
I don't think it specifically has to be
I think so.
God-centered. It's just appreciating that He gives us everything we have.
Wouldn't that be considered God-centered?
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
at least involving him to some degree,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
because that kind of is what is a aspect that sets it apart from just like hanging out or Netflix and chill or whatever. But so
So if we were to like go across the street to McDonald's to get hash browns, would that be considered fellowship?
Would that
it
be
would
considered-
depend on the conversation.
It depends on the conversation. If we're not just like having
know.
fun and hanging out,
Maybe are you saying it's different because we're like Christian brothers, or
That's a good question.
I
That is a good
think
question.
so.
you what?
I mean, I think so. Would you be considered fellowship if you're like going to get food with someone who's not a Christian?
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it has to be formal like that. Like it doesn't have to be.
It is-
Like on a Sunday after church. I don't think that's specifically only fellowship.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it could be fellowship with anybody. I think.
I had
Good
another
point.
question, but I forgot what it was.
We'll remember it.
For your sake and ours.
We'll do like the Vulcan mind pinch thingy in
What?
Star Trek. I'm gonna take your memories.
From what?
Star Trek?
I thought it said Star Trek. I was
Star
gonna be
Trek?
like, it's Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Star Wars. Jedi
Star
mind
Wars,
trick.
man.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Oh.
Michael!
Did you have another question?
I can't remember what it was. That's why I was stalling. Because y'all aren't helping me. It's hard to stall while thinking of your own question. Y'all are supposed to stall while I think of the question.
Supposed to stall.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah. This
I'm
wasn't
really
my
bad at
question.
stalling.
This wasn't my question, but someone also commented or made a point a few weeks ago. I don't know if you remember. I think it was Autumn, but she said like fellowship is also just kind of like doing life with other Christians. Just like whatever we're doing like with each other is also just like because she was going like beyond kind of like the food and stuff. I guess kind of like what you were saying maybe.
yeah.
But it's just like doing life with each other as well. But
That's what I think it is.
okay.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, because we're probably confusing, what is the difference, to sum up, between hanging out and fellowship?
Hanging out is you can be hanging out and having fellowship at the same time. Okay, it's not like something completely different.
So it's just a word that...
Like if you're hanging out like we were doing for like our Blue Haven reunion thing, it's also fellowship. Like we're just getting together for the purpose of having fun.
Come together. No one's going to finish that? Okay.
No. So I think that you can be doing that, but also if you're like at school and you don't know somebody and you're like, hey, let's go hang out and do something. Like if you just want to go play soccer on the soccer field or whatever, I wouldn't consider it fellowship because you don't really know this person.
Okay,
Does that
so
make
it's
sense?
more like intimate hanging out.
Kind of, I think.
Okay, I can
It's,
roll with
it's
that.
more like enjoying time with the other person.
Hashtag doing life.
Yeah. That's what I think fellowship is.
Fellowship lives matter.
Quality time.
Quality time.
Quality time? Yeah, it could be kind of quality time.
Like basically when you're with your OG.
When you're with your OGs.
OG squad.
OG squad. When you say OG squad is going to be there and it's just you and me.
Basically.
And that's basically the OG squad.
Shout out to the people that flaked because of taxes and stuff.
Taxes.
Calling you out, Dustin.
Every week there's a Dustin call.
Oh my gosh, we call out Dustin every week.
It's true. All right.
It's all out of.
I think we're out of time
Oh.
for this episode.
It's all out of Philadelphia.
We're actually going to go get some hash browns at McDonald's.
Wait, we're not
So-
gonna talk about food. How long is this episode?
30 minutes already.
Oh dang, we got
We'll
up
talk
to a
about
long.
food after we go and get our hash browns.
All right, yeah, we're going cross street to get some hash browns. So
We'll be back. For you guys, it'll be a couple of days. For us, it'll be like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. It ain't gonna be that long.
Oh, all right. Well, bye.